Come and fly away with me. 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 Come and fly away with me.
Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Before we get started today, I just want to give a big shout out to the first 5 commenters for my last video. Thank you so much to Kathy Wellman 4859, Berry Q Nails, Nails by Letitia 1, Mama Sue, and Glam Slam Nails. And thank you to each and every single one of you that take the time out of your day to watch, like, subscribe, and interact with my content. And speaking of interacting with my content, please keep an eye out during the video for my member shout outs. Most of my members have content of their own, so I've created little shout outs for them for you guys to get to know them. I would absolutely love if you could please show them the love and support that they show me, and I hope that you enjoyed today's video as well. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Lou, and I hope that you're all tickety-boo today. Well, I don't mind telling you guys, I'm not quite tickety-boo today myself. Yesterday was a wee bit of a situation for one of my sweet little black kitties. He ended up having to be rushed to the vet, and I don't mind telling you, I was in a right sort, and I'm a little bit late with this video, but I think that taking on a wee little bit of Lou is really going to really help with the situation. I don't know why I'm sounding a little bit more Irish or Scottish, but this is what we got. So I don't mind telling you, but I'm very displeased with the way that the, what do you call it? The vet hospital. I don't quite like how they handled, the situation. I feel like they kind of dragged it out. And, I feel like it could have been handled a little bit better. But, it was the second time the poor boy, he had been sick like this. So, my personal feelings aside, it really was best for the boy, to be let go, and now he can be in peace. It's very difficult for this one because he was one of my goodest boys. He would sleep next to me, sleep at the top of the couch when, I was sitting there watching TV or working on the YouTube. Just one of my good boys, and me and him, especially after the last time that he had gotten sick. So this is the second time he got sick with this. Well, the last time that he had gotten sick with this, it had been because, well, the same reason, really. It was no difference in the reason. But, and I'm just going to tidy up my desk while, we talk today, just because I've got nothing to unbox and I don't feel like doing any nails, understandably, but, he had been sick with this before, and we got very lucky last time when we found the exact right provider that we would have needed to really get the job done in a cheap fashion, because here, I don't know what it's like in other places, but in the US, no matter what medical system, you really look at, they're not really here for us now, are they? So, with that being said, it really was the best choice. It was very difficult, to see him like that. Those of you who have seen a urinary blockage before in a cat, it's not pretty. So, but today I'm feeling a little bit more tickety-boo. Feeding time was a little bit difficult today. you know, because normally I put all the bowls out. You know, I have 10 cats, had 10 cats. You know, so I always put the bowls out and I feed them all 10 in a row, and I have their bowls stacked in a certain way because, you know, some of the kitties, they like to bother each other, or some eat faster, you know. So, you know, there's a particular way that I like to feed the kitties, and they're such amazing little kitties. Oh, the kitties. Oh, they're just so lovely. Oh, dear. I just love my kitties. But, you know, it was hard this morning because I had to put one of the bowls back into the cupboard. Into the cupboard. The cupboard? I don't know. I'll try. You know, because, you know, I'm only feeding 9 now. And I'm so sorry, Lou. I was supposed to have practiced this for the first couple of days before I shot this video. But, you know, the past couple of days definitely wasn't much for much of this or any practice. And I've been going over your accent in my head. Because I knew I still needed to do this. I knew that it was going to make me feel better, you know? Just one of those things, like, mine was absolutely hilarious. So, and I have a couple more that I need to catch up on, and I will be catching up on them. Don't you mind? But yeah, you know, the food bowl really, it's those small things, you know, that get to you at a time like this. You think I would have put these plates away yet? But yeah, so, you know, that's just kind of what has been going on. Yeah, I just wanted to pop in and make sure that I still, you know, got my video up, you know, and that it wasn't a week late, because that wouldn't have been very, you know, I wanted to make sure that Lou got her special, tribute, you know. But yeah, so, you know, I'm a little bit more tickety-boo. It's just that food bowl really got to me this morning. Because it's like, you know, before that was Bumble's bowl. You know, it's always been, oh, okay, so, you know, Bumble and Simpson have the same bowl. So, you know, Bumble and Simpson had the bowl, and then it was Bumble's bowl, and, you know, it's the extra bowl, and it's those little things that you really don't think about. You know, until you do. And, you know, I don't mind telling you, you know, I've lost pets before, you know, this is not a new occurrence. You know, I've always had pets. And, but Bumble was one of the special ones, you know, we almost lost him 2 years ago. And, you know, that was hard. He really opened up after we saved him the first time. And he really became like one of those cats that would follow you around and sit next to you. And maybe not necessarily the most cuddly, you know, but he would sit behind you when you sat at your desk. You know, and things like that. And it makes it a little bit more difficult, you know, because it's one of the cats that would always be around. So I think that it's really just a little bit harder, you know, when you got one that's really close to you, you know, especially in cases like me where you have so damn many. You know, some of them are just going to be closer to you than others. I think that's just how it kind of works. So, you know, we brought him in and, you know, we got him to the vet. It took us a whole night. We had to sign up for some pet insurance. And, you know, so that was a whole process in itself. And then, you know, we brought him to the vet the next day. And we had gotten the pet insurance, the one that, you know, it covers everything up front. You ain't got to really pay nothing except like a small fee. And, you know, they took him back and when I talked to the first lady, she seemed very optimistic that the amount that we had been given was going to be enough for the and it's the wording, now that I think back, it really is the wording. Like you've got to pay attention to how people say things. Because I think a lot of times that's how a lot of us get gotten, is they spoke very optimistically every time we spoke about the money involved in his treatment. So when they came to us after us telling them that our credit only came to a $1,500 limit, that's how much we got approved for. We got approved for $1,500 in credit for the pet bill. And, they were very optimistic every time the different stages. They would come back, and we were there for like a good hour. When they came back and they were like, okay, so here's what we've done for him already. Well, we've done the fluids, and we've given him some pain medication, and we've emptied his bladder, and we've run some tests to see, how his liver, how his kidney values look, because anything urinary. They always want to take a good look at the kidneys and make sure that they're processing, the waste correctly. And, every time I'm not going to give you the full detail, but every time we spoke about the payment, and what we had to work with, they were very positive. They were very, and then it came time to discuss the actual procedure. They came in, they told us for everything that we had received for the day, and for the fluids, and the making him comfortable and getting him stabilized. I said his heart rate was very low. They said his heart rate was very low. They said that it would come to $2,300. Now, I don't mind telling you, my initial instinct was not to remain calm, cool, and collected, whatever the hell the expression is. Me being me, my first instinct was to go balls to the wall. I didn't know what they were talking about, because that's not what we had discussed. I said, well, and at that point, I think I really knew that, that was going to be it. I knew that you can't reason with a medical bill, especially when it comes to veterinary. It doesn't work that way. Pet animals are not protected as much as humans are. Not that we're very well protected in the medical industry either, but so, we had to make the decision. I'm going to be getting his ashes back and everything else. So we made the decision. To me, it was, I kind of already knew. Like, the minute that this happened a second time with my very minimal clinical expertise, I have a very minimal background. I knew that urinary blockages were nothing to be messed with, especially since he had already been sick. But, when she told me that the total had increased by almost double, I really wanted to rip every single person I had been talking to a new asshole. I don't mind telling you. But I really couldn't be bothered. I really couldn't be bothered. It was already such a stressful situation. And, that really goes to show I'm very proud of myself. Because there would have been a very, very not so far away time that situation would probably have turned into a right shit show. Just me being me. I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes no one ever taught me how to handle my emotions, Sometimes I can be right, but so we did what we had to do, and, I'm happy that I have you all to share this with. I have a couple more videos that I need to catch up on. because, you know, Aria was fit to be tied yesterday. She really was. You know, he was one of the, not many of my kitties are cuddly, you know, they'd want to be really near you all the time. And Bumble was, you know, so Arya got to have her Elvira moments. If you know, you remember the Animaniacs? Elvira, the little girl who would grab the kitties, and I'm going to love them and hold them and kiss them and squeeze them. And well, if you don't know who I'm talking about, go ahead and look up the Animaniacs. And go ahead and look up Elvira, and you'll see what you know, she had her little Elvira moments with him because he didn't mind it too much. You know, we have one other cat that doesn't mind it too much, but she's a slapper. You know, she'll give the girl a slap. You know, so Arya was definitely fit to be tied yesterday. I feel so bad for the poor girl. I'm looking at you know, I don't want to say it too loud because she could be waking up any minute. She's normally up by now. I'm expecting that the girl is tuckered after such a long day, you know. But I'm looking into getting her some like a life-sized black cat plushie, maybe with some like weight to it that she could, you know, take with her to bed and hold and kind of help her get through this process. You know, this is a difficult thing for a child, and you know, I'm thinking, you know, that would be a big help for her. Maybe for Christmas I could get her like a nice black plushie. She was so, I want Bumble to come back. I want Bumble to come back. Oh, you know, and you try to be strong for the children. You know, you try to be strong for the children. But, you know, it's difficult. It really is. And, you know, I know we didn't do much organizing or cleaning here today. I don't think that I'll be getting much of that done today either. I have to do a load of laundry because no one's had any drawers washed in a day or two. So I've got to get on that. But other than that, I don't think I'm really going to be doing too much today because I don't think I've got it in me. And I don't know how Aria's going to wake up. So, you know, I've got to be here for her. You know, she's the little one. She's the one that didn't have a firm grasp on what we were doing there until, you know, Mommy came outside and there was no Bumble. You know, poor kid. I think I wish I would have let her stay and kind of experience the process, but, you know, I think it'll be okay, though, this one time, and maybe, you know, we have plenty others who eventually will come to their time as well. It's just the way of life, isn't it? You know? So, you want to keep them around as long as you can. But, you know, when one gets sick like that, you gotta not be selfish. You gotta think about what's best for the kitty. The kitty. I sounded like fat bastard, sorry. I'm trying here, guys. Anyway, so yeah, it's been lovely having this chat with you. It really has. Thank you guys for letting me get some of this off my chest. I really knew that I needed to still do this video and to do it quick with everything that happened yesterday. I even told Kiara. I told Kiara, the darling, she's such a sweet, sweet girl. I told Kiara, I said, you know, don't worry, I'm still going to be doing my video. You know, I could use a little bit of Lou's optimism, because she is, isn't she? No matter what she talks about in her videos or what setbacks, she's always so positive and forward looking. So I really knew that I needed to kind of jump in her shoes today and, you know, get some of that forward thinking, you know, for myself, because the accent definitely isn't working. Okay, guys, but I think that's about all I've got in me for today. I just want to say a big thank you. Oh, Kiara. Thank you for including me in this collaboration, love. Really appreciate it. Definitely ended up needing it a little bit more than I thought I would. And yeah. So, Lou, I hope you enjoyed my video. I'm sorry that my accent is such crap. But yeah. So I hope you all are well and, you know, the rest of your week, and hope you take care of yourself. And I'll see you here back for the next one. And you know what I always say? If you can't be good, be careful. Bye now.